Hi guys, Tom Frampton here from Mastering the Mix, and welcome to another mix walkthrough video where I show you what steps I take to get a song sounding its best. You'll learn something new to get your productions sounding better than ever. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to get more videos like this. And don't forget to grab the free trials of our plugins from the link in the description. So today I'll be mastering this track by Steve OOOD, Halcyon Heyday. Starting off by listening in mono and checking the stereo field using the filter and levels. No real phase issues or left-right balance problems here at all. Checking the side channels for low end. Nothing there, it's pretty good. All those low frequencies are nice in the center. And it's nice and wide in the top end as well. There we go. It's good to listen to reference tracks early on in the mastering stage to set a good frame of reference for your ears. I've used reference here to level match the tracks for a fair comparison. The first thing I notice is that the original track is a little less bright than the references. Start by bringing up the volume. If you click Option and increase the gain here on Pro L, the output will also go down. So you kind of exaggerate the settings so you can change you can fine-tune the attack and the release to get it working, and then you can bring the gain back down, and the limiter will work really well with those settings when it's not working so hard. Experimenting here with different styles. The modern one sounds the most transparent and clear. The visual at the bottom of reference is showing me that the high end in the original is much less prominent than in both reference tracks. So that's something to keep in mind. So just a little touch of compression here. 1.4 to 1 is totally fine. Set that threshold so it's not really compressing too much more than 2 decibels.
Oh, it's like heaven, lost in the sun.
Animate now to just lift out those higher frequencies with some upward expansion. Pretty soft ratio and almost immediate attack. Here I'm soloing exactly what's going on there. before and after tells me there's just a very slight lift in the top frequencies there. See now, levels are showing me peak issue there. So I'll go into the limiter, reduce the output. There we go. That keeps it below minus 0.1 decibels true peak. Okay, now let's solo the sides and set where the low frequency should be. Keeping those low frequencies below 167 there is a nice way to solidify the low end. Adding a bit more stereo width now to the upper frequencies. You don't want to overdo this. Making increments towards that brighter sound now. See a bit of a resonance there. What we can do is just dynamically pull it out of the mix a little bit. We're not making big EQ changes when we're mastering, so a small range like 3 decibels is totally fine. Also make a note as to whether you want to be cutting or boosting the mid or side channels. Always do before and after tests, just to make sure you're making positive progress. It's subtle, but it's a slight boost in presence there. It gets us closer to the sound of the reference tracks. Seeing here how the low end compares when heard in isolation. This just adds a little more low end that almost isn't there. It's a bit of a different process to just EQing. Warms it up. Bass drum here, I'm going to select a preset. Give it some time to analyze the music and then adjust the bands to hit these targets. I'll level match to compensate for the adjustment. That is a dramatic difference in clarity. That's really cleaned up the low end now. Okay, we're starting to really sound like the reference tracks now. Okay, now we're going to compare to the original mix. We always want to make sure that the master sounds better than the mix. So we're going to align the two tracks now so they're playing at exactly the same points. And now level match them for a fair comparison. There's a dramatic difference in the clarity now between the master and the mix. Bit of a resonance there, just pulling that out of the mix. We've been focusing on the busiest section of the track, and now we're going to listen to some other sections just to see how the processing has affected the other parts of the track, such as the verse and the bridge. Of course, the targets on the walls of bass room are just suggestions, so tweaking it based on what we're listening to is super important. You can see in levels here the short-term lufts aren't really going above -9, so the punch is still great. Let's hear how this transitions from the loud section into this quieter bridge. It's nice and dynamic. There we go. The short-term lufts is down to -18 there. The loudness range shows us that the statistical difference between different sections. A high loudness range can let you know that you have a nice dynamic impact when the drop punches in. Anything above 6 LU can be understood as super dynamic, so this is looking great. Everything in levels seems to be green and looking good. Decongesting this slightly. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to get more videos like this. And don't forget to grab the free trials of our plugins from the link in the description.